Quick thought experiment: picture Singapore, then double it. By 2025, that's how much desert will be covered by a single solar farm. Bright enough to twinkle in satellite photos. Meanwhile, 4,000 miles away, brand new city the size of Belgium will pop out of the sand running on nothing but wind and sunshine. And if you're standing in Detroit sipping coffee, you could soon watch trucks glide across a bridge. So long you could line up 22 Lady Liberties on it. It's ready to see how your everyday life is about to get rewired? I forget sci-fi. These aren't sketches on a whiteboard. They're living, breathing construction sites with real budgets and hard hats. Today, we're touring the heavyweights projects that will reshape how cities breathe, how electrons dance, and how you get to work without losing your mind. Let's roll. Rajasthan's Bhadla Solar Park already covers 5,700 football fields and cranks out enough juice for 2 Delhis. Neat trick, right? But the plot twist is in the American Southwest. SunZia Wind is planting 900 turbines across New Mexico and Arizona, then shipping 3 gigawatts of clean power through an 885-kilometer transmission spine straight into California. Put the two together, and you've got a transcontinental relay race. Sun chases daylight. Wind clocks the night shift, and coal plants clock out years ahead of schedule. Fewer smog alerts, deeper breaths. Jeddah traffic is a meme for a reason. 90 minutes to grab a shawarma is not a life choice. The Jeddah Metro is the antidote. 81 stations, 160 kilometers of track, driverless trains that feel more roller coaster than rail car. By 2026, the share of trips on public transport jumps from 2% to 30%. Translation: you just got an hour of your life back every single day. Spend it however you like. Brisbane outgrew its own train network. Awkward. Cross River Rail fixes the logjam with twin tunnels under the river. 18 kilometers of fresh track and 8 subterranean stations where trains roll in every 120 seconds. Platforms stretch 200 meters. Room 49 car sets that can swallow 22,000 passengers an hour. Goodbye, Armpits Rumpit Fridays. Who says skyscrapers can't be megaprojects? At 1,388 feet, JPM's new Midtown Tower is all-electric and zero-onst emissions. Rainwater in the taps, solar glass in the walls, 40% less embodied carbon than your average steel beast. When 15,000 workers move in next year, the loudest sound will be elevator music. No generators, no drama. Deep beneath the Thames, 32 kilometers of tunnels are being threaded like dental floss for cables. Their mission: ferry electricity from Dogger Bank, the planet's biggest offshore wind farm, where each turbine is taller than the Eiffel Tower. One spin powers a UK home for 2 days. When Phase 3 flicks on, Britain's carbon footprint drops by a chunky 5%. Kettle. Meet guilt-free tea. Imagine a city with no roads, no cars, and a door-to-door commute of 5 minutes. The line is a 170-kilometer mirrored wall of skyscrapers hugging the Red Sea, running on 100% renewables. AI herds power, water, and people. The concept of rush hour might actually die. $500 billion and a 2030 move-in date. Ambitious, sure, impossible. Tell that to the 100,000 workers already pouring concrete in the dunes. Oxagon will float as the world's largest green hydrogen plant, topping up cargo ships with zero-carbon fuel. Trojena, a mountain resort inside NEOM, promises outdoor skiing at 35 degrees Celsius. Yes, chilled snow, just because they can. Together, these satellites turn NEOM from a city into an entire socio-economic operating system. Grand Inga, the Congo River is a liquid freight train. It carries more water than every river in North America combined. The Grand Inga Dam aims to harness that flow with a 40-gigawatt hydropower station, enough juice to light up nearly half of Africa. Transmission lines would stretch thousands of kilometers, linking Kinshasa to Johannesburg to Lagos, knitting together an energy grid where diesel generators finally retire. For 500 million people still off-grid, the lights might flicker on for the very first time. Java holds more people than some continents, and the Jakarta-Bandung highway is a parking lot with a speed limit. China's CR400 bullet trains slash the 142-kilometer trip from 3 hours to 40 minutes for less than the price of an airport sandwich. Indonesia expects the line to knock a full 1% off national CO2 emissions by stealing passengers from cars and planes. Singapore ran out of land, so it's drilling 50 kilometers of tunnels under its own nature reserves. The cross-island line will shoot you from Changi to Jurong in 45 minutes. Half the time, without a single viaduct marring the rainforest. Battery-powered, autonomous trains glide through granite tunnels wider than any yet dug. Come 2030, 700 buses retire and 60,000 tons of CO vanish yearly. That's 3 million trees worth of breathing room. Cairo's population is on track to double by 2050, so Egypt is building a brand new capital 45 kilometers east of the Nile. Think 34 districts, 21 mini-cities, a park twice Central Park size, and the iconic tower topping out at 393 meters, Africa's tallest. Solar rooftops and waste-to-energy plants target a 50% renewable mix. In 2024, 6 million people will wake up in a metropolis that was desert 10 years ago. If this is the first time you're hearing about a city bigger than Paris being built from scratch, subscribe. Wilder blueprints drop every week. Singapore isn't just shuffling containers. It's shifting the entire nation's port 30 kilometers west. Its Phase 1 already juggles 21 million TES. By 2040, the final phase will handle 65 million. Automation hits 90%. Driverless trucks, drone cranes, AI that books berths before ships leave Europe. Your next online order lands faster and lighter on the planet. Every year, 1.6 million trucks crawl through the Brenner Pass, pumping fumes into alpine lungs. The 64-kilometer Brenner-based tunnel dives straight under the mountains at 250 kilometers per hour, turning Europe's freight backbone into a subterranean speedway. By 2032, 70% of transalpine cargo switches from road to rail. Munich to Milan just became a breath of fresh air, literally. Detroit and Windsor trade $400 million in goods daily, more than most countries. GDP? The new Gordie Howe Bridge adds 6 lanes plus rail, slashing border waits from 2 hours to 15 minutes. When it opens in 2025, the regional economy gets a $4 billion annual jolt. Your Amazon Prime just found the fast lane. So here's where you come in. By 2030, the energy topping up your phone might have spun off a turbine taller than the Eiffel Tower. Your commute could tunnel under a river or blast across a continent while your podcast is still on chapter 1. And the city outside your window? It might be a living lab humming on clean electrons and algorithms that never sleep. The future isn't some distant fantasy. It's steel, concrete, and code being bolted together right now. And it's moving fast. Which of these megaprojects do you think will change your life first? Drop your pick in the comments. Polite arguing about trains and trillion-dollar dreams is encouraged. If this blew your mind, hit like, smash subscribe, and I'll catch you in the future that's already under construction.